The fire on a cargo ship at Port Newark that killed 2 firefighters still burns, as these live pictures from Newscopter 7 show. Officials say the fire, which broke out Wednesday night, could burn for at least a few more days.
Newark firefighter Augusto Akabu, a 9-year veteran, and Wayne Brooks Jr., a 16-year veteran, died while fighting the fire. And tributes are pouring in for the men who died in the line of duty. Governor Murphy ordered flags across New Jersey to fly at half-staff. We get the latest information now from Eyewitness News reporter Darla Miles, live at Port Newark. Good afternoon, Darla.
Good afternoon, Janice. There are a few key developments that we've learned in the last hour or so. First of all, we know that the fire has spread downward into the ship. It's now extending down to the 7th floor, which is making it more difficult. Just imagine like a big red burning core of metal. So that is really of concern right now. Secondly, we do know that there are firefighters on the ship inside battling the blaze, but those are private contractors. According to Governor Murphy, they are specially trained to fight fires on this type of vessel. But the other concern at this hour is the amount of water they're pouring on this ship in order to fight this core of burning metal, because it is now causing the ship to list, which means tilt, which can create a completely different problem in itself.
At this point, the fire is going to burn for a couple more days probably. It's impossible to give you really any kind of definitive timeline.
This is now day 3 of the Grande Costa d'Avorio cargo ship fire. Billows of smoke still hovering above the Port of Elizabeth as crews pour thousands of gallons of water onto the vessel to stem the stubborn metal burning inside.
Our plan for today is to contain the fire, to cool the vessel so the fire no longer spreads throughout the vessel, to keep it toward the top decks where it's currently located.
The Coast Guard taking the lead on the investigation and the response. The fire started on the 10th floor Wednesday evening as cars were being loaded onto the ship. For Friday morning, they say the heat is still too extreme to gain access to the source of the fire in what is essentially a steel box.
So currently a lot of the decks that are burning and the cars that are burning are inaccessible to our fire teams. So the best situation is to cool the vessel from the perimeter using the fire boats and using hoses from on shore, and to try to keep the fire from spreading. The water going on the vessel is a concern because it does sometimes cause a list in the vessel, or tipping to either left or right, port or starboard.
Across New Jersey, flags are at half-staff for the 2 Newark firefighters who died while responding to the blaze, Wayne Brooks Jr. and Augusto Akabu. As the Newark Fire Department mourns their loss, it still faces serious questions about proper training and equipment, and why the 2 firefighters risked their lives to extinguish a fire consuming used cars.
The Newark firefighters will be etched in the city's history, the public safety's history, and the fire department's history forever. Lost but not forgotten.
As for those 2 firefighters, the city of Newark says they have been in contact with the families and they are doing as best as could be expected. And right now we're still awaiting to find out the funeral arrangements for those 2 firefighters. Just one more thing regarding the incident right here. Governor Murphy says because of all of the water that they're pouring onto the ship and the fact that it may be listing or tilting, they're actually poking holes in the hull to try to maintain the ship's balance. But again, this is going to be a lengthy, tedious process for the next few days.